You don't need a six-figure salary to look like you have one. There's a whole world of luxury vehicles that slip under the radar. Cars that turn heads, feel expensive, and carry serious presence, all without broadcasting their price. First off, we have the Mercedes-Benz CL-Class. If a Mercedes S-Class is a luxury yacht, the CL-Class is a private jet. This massive two-door coupe wasn't just built to impress, it was built to intimidate, effortlessly blending elegance and authority. With frameless doors, no B-pillars, and the kind of road presence that makes valets straighten up when you roll in, the CL was peak Mercedes confidence. Originally costing up to $160,000, you can now find well-kept examples for under $25,000, less than a new Honda Civic. Inside, it's all wood trim, soft leather, and whisper quiet insulation. And under the hood, a buffet of options from a smooth V8 to a bi-turbo V12 in the CL600. And if you're brave, the monstrous CL63 AMG. Yes, these cars are complex, repairs can be expensive, but for those who do their research and pick the right example, this is a masterclass in getting rich energy for a fraction of the price. And if you think this is luxurious, wait until we get to the one that gives you V8 power and Japanese reliability. Jaguar XJ. This was Jaguar's dramatic reinvention, and it worked. Gone were the stuffy, old money lines of past XJs. In came a low-slung, ultra-modern design that made even German rivals feel outdated. Long, lean, and draped in chrome, the 2010 XJ still looks futuristic today. And that's saying something. The interior, an absolute vibe. Quilted leather, ambient lighting, a digital gauge cluster that felt like science fiction in 2010. It was British swagger with tech to match. And you can now find these rolling statements for as little as $12,000. It's not flawless, some electronics can be fussy, and repair costs can bite, but find one with solid maintenance and you've got one of the best looking cars on this list. If presence is your priority, this car doesn't just whisper money, it practically shouts it in a posh accent. And speaking of bold statements, the next car gives you luxury, presence, and a dash of aggression. BMW 7 Series F01/F02. If the Jaguar is suave and sleek, the BMW 7 Series is muscular and commanding. Especially in M Sport trim, this generation of the 7 is wide, low, and serious. It's not just a big sedan, and it's the kind of car that says, I don't follow trends, I set them. The cabin is classic BMW, driver-focused yet luxurious, with thick leather seats and an iDrive system that's aged surprisingly well. Some models even came with rear seat entertainment and massaging seats. Features you'd expect in a $100,000 limo. Today, you can get it all for under $15,000. Yes, older BMWs have a reputation for being finicky, but that's part of the charm. With the right care, this is a car that delivers not just looks, but performance to back it up. It's where business meets speed. Range Rover Sport Supercharged. You might not expect to see a Range Rover on a list of smart luxury buys, but that's exactly what makes this pick so intriguing. The 2008 Range Rover Sport Supercharged came with a 390 horsepower V8 borrowed from Jaguar, Brembo brakes, a dynamic air suspension system, and a cabin that felt every bit as luxurious as the sticker price once suggested. Over $70,000 when new, and now you can find clean examples for under $10,000. Yes, maintenance can be pricey, it is a Range Rover, but if you find one that's been well cared for, you're getting top-tier luxury and off-road cred in a package that still looks classy today. There's just something commanding about a Range Rover, and this one still turns heads at valet stands. Of course, the high-riding luxury SUV might not be for everyone, and if you're leaning towards something sleeker and more understated, our next pick might surprise you. Maserati Spyder Cambiocorsa. Now we're really stepping into wait, I can afford that territory. The 2005 Maserati Spyder Cambiocorsa isn't just a convertible. It's a symphony on wheels. Designed by Giorgetto Giugiaro and powered by a Ferrari-derived 4.2-liter V8, this Italian roadster sings all the way to 7,500 RPM with a sound that makes even bystanders grin. Inside, you're greeted with buttery soft leather, real wood trim, and that classic Maserati clock in the dash. A reminder that time spent behind the wheel should always feel special. Of course, this one isn't for the faint of heart. The Cambiocorsa F1 style gearbox takes some getting used to, and maintenance isn't exactly cheap, but that's part of the allure. You're not just buying a car, you're buying an experience. A Maserati makes every trip feel like an occasion, and if you think this Italian exotic is wild for under $20,000, just wait until you see what comes next. 2012 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution XJ. Now here's a car that wears its performance heart on its sleeve. The 2012 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution XJ isn't trying to be elegant or understated. It's here to punch way above its price tag. For around $20,000, you're getting a turbocharged 2.0-liter inline-4 that delivers 291 horsepower to all four wheels through Mitsubishi's legendary Super All-Wheel control system. In plain English, this thing grips like a supercar and launches like it's angry at the pavement. The Evo XJ is raw, mechanical, and purpose-built. With a 5-speed manual, aggressive bodywork, and race-tuned suspension, it's less about leather and luxury and more about lap times and adrenaline. It might not look like a luxury car in the traditional sense, but in the eyes of car enthusiasts, it's royalty. And here's the kicker. As car makers continue phasing out performance sedans in favor of SUVs and electrification, the Evo X becomes more than just a thrill ride. It's a piece of history, one that just happens to make you look like you spent a lot more than you actually did. And trust us, the next car may come from a brand known for grace and elegance, but it hides a beastly secret under the hood. Infiniti M37/M56. Infiniti's M series might be one of the most criminally underrated sedans of the last 20 years. The M37 came with a strong 3.7-liter V6, while the M56 packed a 420 horsepower 5.6-liter V8 that could give German rivals a run for their money, all with a lower price and fewer maintenance nightmares. But performance wasn't the only story here. These cars were beautifully built. The design still turns heads, and the interior, with its sculpted dash, Japanese ashwood trim, and top-tier fit and finish, feels genuinely upscale. You get reliability, luxury, and a whole lot of car for under $15,000. And unlike some of the flashier options, this is a car that'll fly under the radar until you hit the gas. Lotus Elise. If you're aiming for a rich guy with a toy he only drives on weekends energy, the 2005 Lotus Elise is the move. For around $35,000, you're getting a true exotic, one that looks like it teleported here from a racetrack in Monaco. With its impossibly low stance, sculpted fiberglass body, and mid-engine layout, the Elise screams supercar, but whispers, "I got it for the price of a new Camry." Now, it's not about horsepower. The Elise has a 1.8-liter Toyota-sourced engine that makes just under 190 horsepower, but thanks to its featherweight frame, just under 2,000 pounds, it doesn't need more. This thing dances through corners and gives you road feel like few other cars ever built. It's the kind of machine that makes you fall in love with driving all over again. And the best part? Most people don't know how affordable it actually is. It looks expensive, drives like a dream, and turns heads everywhere, which is exactly what we're going for. But up next, we're taking things to a whole new level, because this last pick doesn't just make you look rich, it'll make you feel like a secret millionaire who knows something the rest of the world doesn't. Mercedes-Benz E-Class, few cars say, "I've made it," quite like a Mercedes E-Class. It's the mid-size luxury benchmark, respected everywhere, admired by everyone, and now, unbelievably, it's affordable to almost anyone. The W211 and early W212 generations offer a perfect blend of classic Benz elegance and modern tech. You've got options: the simple but smooth V6, or the torque-rich diesel for those who like their luxury with long legs. Pick a later W212 with LED lighting and updated interiors, and you'd swear it was a $40,000 car today. Prices start around $5,000, and at that price, it's honestly hard to believe what you're getting. It's not without its quirks, but for the image, comfort, and engineering, this one might just be the sweet spot. Because at the end of the day, luxury isn't about price. It's about how it makes you feel. And these cars, they make you feel like $1 million without spending anywhere near it.